Continuing my series of ranking each Pokemon generation in order, this week I have Gen 5 Unova. And this is going to be a super controversial one because my first experience, and for the longest time my experience with Gen 5, was the anime, where I kind of didn't like a lot of the designs. My opinions have changed a little bit since then, but this might be my most controversial ranking. And keep in mind, it's my personal ranking, so yeah, if you disagree, I'm sorry. But jumping right in, I have Victini is S tier. That's like the easiest one for me, just straight S tier Victini. My favorite of the starter trio, but Snivy and Superior in S, Servine and me. Tepig is solid. I kind of hate Pignite. And Embor, he's gotten better with ZA. Oshawott really cute. I really like Duat. Samurott, take it or leave it. Patrat, I don't care for. Watchog, I actively do not like. Lillipup line is just, they're solid dogs. And it's just a new Meowth, which is kind of my opinion for a lot of Gen 5, is they're just rehashes of old Pokemon. No, that was kind of my problem with some of Gen 4 as well, because they were just evolutions or babies. These are just the same, but they're different. But I will say, I really like the Pan lines. I think they're all really cute. I cannot say the same for the Semis, though. And it's weird because they're so different, even though they're the same line of Pokemon. I accidentally grabbed that, so let's just go ahead and place him. He's actually kind of cool. Munna, indifferent. Same with Musharna. Pidgey is just a solid bird. I'm kind of having to weight them against each other too. Not necessarily my ranking as a whole. Otherwise, I'm going to have a lot of C tier Pokemon in this one. The Blitza line is pretty good. Roggenrola and Boldor, I'm pretty indifferent to. But you're really good. You're solid. I hate these guys. Hard pressed to find anyone that actually really likes them. You are okay. Excadrill, probably one of my first S tiers. He, again, grew a lot, in my opinion, with Legend ZA. But he's pretty solid. Dino is, I'm different too. You're fine. You're fine. I guess you're fine. Timpole, I'm indifferent to. That's the sad part about Gen 5. It's because I really started my mainline games in Gen 6. Just because I couldn't really afford the DS or anything like that when I was like really little. Not until I was able to get it for myself. It's like Sock and Throw. It's no thank you. Suwaddle's cute. You're fine, you're fine. That's like the C tier. It's just the you're fine tier for me. It's not bad, it's not good. It's just you're here, you're okay. You're good though. You're okay. I think I'll put Scolipede in S tier. It's an S tier Gen 5 Pokemon for me. You're fine. You're pretty good. I do like the Hisuian Lilligant a bit more, just for Victory Dance. You are bad outside of Basculegion. This line, though, that's peak. That line's pretty peak. Same thing with the Darumaka and Darmanitan lines. I'm not gonna rank that. That's Maractus. Let's say Maractus is okay. Crustle, I would have no attachment to him if it wasn't for the anime. Scraggy is pretty solid. Same thing with Scrafty. I actually really like the Cophagrigus line. At one point, they were probably considered my favorite Pokemon. That was a long time ago, though. And it's been Meowstic for like a decade at this point. Sigilyph is just too weird and out there for me. But he's not awful. He's not an awful design. Tortuga's pretty cool. Caracosta, he's pretty cool too. Honestly, the Gen 5 fossils are some of the best. Now, my favorite is Gen 4's Cranidos, but these are pretty solid. The rehash of Muck. I mean, come on. Come on, right? I thought they were legendary for the longest time. But no, they're just actually just really cool Pokemon. Fortunately, no opinions. No opinions. It's kind of sad how many Gen 5 Pokemon I really have no strong opinions one way or the other. And it's not like they're bad. It's just they're okay. Okay, except for him. He's D tier on the principle that he's ice cream. And it's kind of my problem with some of these designs. I don't feel like a lot of them are original enough, you know? Now, if I was going to pick a Deerling, I do really like the concept of Deerling. Let's just say the spring form. I like the concept of it. Emolga's based. Caracosta, Cavalier, Pungus. Amoonguss is an F because of the jokes and competitive. If it wasn't for the game Among Us, and if it wasn't for how weirdly good he is in competitive as a spore setter, he would probably just be like meh, you know, he'd be a C tier, but he's just that guy for certain things, and I can't. Jellicent is not great. I'm gonna say Alola an F tier. It's just worse Love Disc, which I didn't think was possible, because at least Love Disc had the heart scales. And I'm honestly not even sure if they do have the heart scales. But Love Disc had a purpose, even though it was bad. Alola is just should have been an evolution, right? Joltik. Galvantula, honestly, S tier. He's probably one of the best spider Pokemon they ever done. Ferroseed, Ferrothorn, the Clink and Clang lines. Dynamo's in D. The rest of them are fine, and actually he's really solid. Dynamo, just look at him and tell me why I should put him higher. LGM, I actually really like the idea. Oh, that's a little bit of a... I didn't mean to hit you, but yeah, you're going up there. LGM and BHM, I really like the ideas behind the Little Green Men and the BHM. I actually don't know, but LGM, Little Green Man, they're kind of really fun design, and they're most explicitly alien, and I think that's really cool. I know they're technically probably a rehash of Clefairy, but they are vastly different. I'm going to leave Litwick there and Chandelure up there as well. They're some of my favorite Gen 5 by far. By far. Axew's awesome. Fracture I'm indifferent to. Haxorus is awesome. The bears can go down here. I do not like Cryogonal. There are some Cryogonal lovers. I am not one of them. Indifferent, 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 indifferent. Okay. I don't know if I've said my favorite Gen 5 yet, but it is Druddigon all the way. He was my first shiny. Well, actually, you know, while I'm at it, Druddigon was my first shiny, and Bouffalant is my first full odds random encounter shiny. I was gifted Druddigon back when I was a kid, and I've loved him ever since. Bouffalant I found random encounter in Sword and Shield's DLC in the Isle of Armor. I know that seems kind of late for me as an active shiny hunter to, you know, find a random shiny, but until then I've always just hunted my own, you know, so it's kind of interesting. Let's go Golett and Golurk. Golurk is another S tier for me, and he's honestly up there. Pawniard. Pawniard's there. Bisharp is an A. They're really solid Pokemon. Rufflet, indifferent. Braviary, indifferent. I think that's just a rehash. Those two are just rehash of Seviper and Zangoose. Now this is controversial, right? These are decent, but I'm not a huge fan of the Hydreigon line. Hydreigon. Because it's German inspired, right? The name is. I still can't say it correctly. Hydreigon, I think. These guys, of course, I'm just gonna put them in A. They're really, really awesome, but they're not my favorites from the gen. But I do really love them. The Swords of Justice are all B tier for me. And I can honestly toss Keldeo up here in A, with Keldeo at the top. And I think that's fair. The Incarnates are also here in B tier for me. I'd probably put their Therians somewhere down here for the most part. I just don't like their designs. I think the Thundercloud, like the genie ones, they're cool. I don't really like the other ones. Nah. Reshiram is an A tier for me. Zekrom is S tier. I just really, really like Zekrom more than I like Reshiram, you know? Kyurem is fine too. I'd put him right there beside Reshiram. Meloetta is B tier for me. And let's say, finally, Genesect. Let's say Genesect right there beside Meloetta. But yeah, these are my rankings for Gen 5. The only alt forms I did were the Therian forms versus Incarnate for the genies, just because I feel like they're different enough, right? And I'm gonna save Gigantamax and Megas for another video. But yeah, let me know your guys' thoughts. I feel like mine are very controversial and very different, but yeah, leave a comment down below with your thoughts, and subscribe for more content like this. And see you next week for Kalos, which I have very strong opinions for. But thanks.